It's the two dudes with the attitudes, let's go. On the Friday, you know what it is, man, they came to handle biz. Two dudes with attitudes, and they came to get it in. If you wanna hear it all, yeah, you in the right place. Going through the highs and lows at a pretty calm pace. This is where they talk to all elite, Dynamite and Rampage. All the other news on your timelines or your page. Shooting star press like it's mad side down. MWO, and yeah, they here to hold it down. Had to kick a rhyme just to tell you about the show. From the TikToks or the shorts, they will bring the smoke. And yeah, it's the dudes like it's Sean and it's Diesel. Live on the Twitch, YouTube for the reviews. Show them all the love on the platform you using. 5-star rating now, there is no excuses. Welcome back or welcome for the first show. Two dudes with the attitudes, time to work, bro.
What is going on? Man, let's be kicking hard. We like gangsta up in this.
I know, I love it, man.
I love it. But welcome to our other edition for those watching live. For those not live watching live, welcome back to our
Good night. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Yeah. For those are, for realsies. If y'all don't know, it's about 10 minutes away from midnight. Shooting Star Press's time. But welcome back, you crazy two-dude wolf pack. As always, I'm Mr. MWO, and with me is the one and only honorary dude himself, the first and only true Sami Zayn, Mr. Shooting Star Press. What's going on?
Yes, sir. I was Sami Zayn before Sami Zayn was cool.
100% you were, yes, sir.
But yeah, here we are. Long time no see. You know, you got the same clothes on as before.
Yeah, I know. I should have changed. Really, you gave me 5 minutes.
I got the same one on too, so no biggie. But
it is what it is. All right, you ready? We got so much to talk about in AEW. So
I think this is gonna be a 2-hour episode.
2 minutes. All right. Yeah. So anyway, I already ranted about it. It's funny because I ranted about it on my TikTok about Collision, and I got so worried. I'm like, oh, here it comes, and everybody was like, yeah, bro, AEW sucks. So I'm like,
it's not been hit.
Have you seen Collision's ratings lately? I mean, Eric Bischoff started to talk about it. It's like pretty bad. They ain't doing that hot right now. So. I told you Saturdays are hard, and then when you have your show be mediocre. But anyway, let's get into AEW Collision.
Let's do it.
I was super excited about AEW Collision when it first came around. We talked about it. We hyped it. And holy cow, has just been atrocious. I'm so sorry, all you AEW listeners, because you choose this day to listen to us because you love AEW, as do we. But Collision it's not doing it for me right now. And I want to talk about the opening segment with Mr. MJF himself. He came out on Collision, looked upset for being there, but he was dressed like an American flag. And I was so confused on what was going on because I was like, why is he on Collision? And he legitimately wrestled a jobber, beat him in 10 seconds. Then he got on the mic and ran his mouth, and out comes Shooting Star Press's first true AEW love, Ethan Page himself. And boy, if this was 8 months ago, it would have felt special. Ethan Page comes out and acts like he's Ethan Page from 8 months ago and has a legitimately 25-minute match, 20-minute match, something with MJF where he put MJF on the brink of losing. MJF ends up pulling off the win. What are we doing here? Let me just tell you something. Just imagine WWE having Sunday Night Heat back or one of their Saturday show, anything you want to talk about, and they have Roman Reigns come out and wrestle a jobber, and then wrestle Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph Ziggler's getting the comeuppance. I've said this before, and I'm going to continue to say it. When you are the champion, so provide in Moxley as your champ. If you are the champ, you need to feel like a champion. You know who doesn't feel like a champion right now? Somebody who's in a tag team pairing and who's literally wrestling jobbers and Ethan Page on AEW Collision. Am I wrong here? I mean, how am I supposed to want him to do good things?
And if you think about it too, when was the last time MJF was in the main event? I mean, he opened Forbidden Door. He did. Opened him and Adam Cole opened AEW Dynamite a few weeks ago.
You were right.
He had the second to last match at Double or Nothing with the Four Pillars match. He was the opening match on AEW Collision. He was a mid-card segment on his debut on Rampage. It wasn't even the show closing thing. So, he doesn't feel important right now as the AEW champion. And like you said, he's in this tag team tournament now with Adam Cole. And there was no mention of that. There was no Adam Cole. You just had them yeah, you had them they're teasing, they're making their Eliminator tournament debut on Dynamite, but you didn't have a moment with him and Adam Cole backstage. You didn't have a moment like a vignette or anything where you could have continued teasing their pairing, because that's one of the best things they have going on right now. And you didn't even mention it. So yeah, MJF is not feeling like a champion right now at all. And him opening the last couple of shows, and yeah, it's not hitting. And then Ethan Page, a guy who, you know, I love Ethan Page. I think he's great. I think he's he is somebody that has not been used properly by Tony Khan. Him and Brian Cage are two of AEW's biggest missed opportunities, in my opinion. And like 8 months ago, I would have been excited about this. But when he came out, I was like, oh, great. Like he's going to take another loss. He's going to lose.
Yeah, for sure.
And the fact that he got so much offense in on MJF, it's crazy to me. It's crazy that the match went on as long as it did, when Ethan Page, you know, he lost to Matt Hardy. He lost at the Hardy compound. He lost, you know, he's got his contract with Matt Hardy.
Isn't he owned by Hardy right now?
Yeah, he's
like,
he's
I don't know.
Yeah, he's owned by Matt Hardy. And yeah, it's just, all of it is just so, I don't know. But the fact that he took MJF to the brink, I mean, it says a lot about his wrestling ability, but I mean, it's again, like we talk about this on WWE. It's hard to take somebody seriously who loses all the time. And now this guy who loses all the time is taking your champion who wins all the time. He's taking him to the brink. It doesn't make any sense.
No. And I saw a couple of people online talk about how, like, oh yes, this was like such a great Ethan Page moment. I'm like, this will not be brought up again. It was on
yeah, we'll never speak of this.
What are you talking about? This is not a big push for Ethan Page.
And they didn't even talk about it on Dynamite, which we'll talk about it. Yeah.
It's literally like NXT, and when they go over to SmackDown or Raw, they're like different people.
The Johnny Gargano treatment.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Yep. What was your favorite part of Collision?
It being over. The
Collision's
credits.
getting high reviews, by the way. Every time I look back just to recap, to wrap my brain around stuff again, it got like an 8.5 on that 411 show, or being a Bleacher. I mean, I know Bleacher owns them. I will
say that this last episode of Collision, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt, because it was pre-taped, and this was the first time that they had it pre-recorded because of Canada Day, and it was in Canada and whatever. And then it was also, you know, WWE had Money in the Bank earlier in the day, and I'm sure that they couldn't capitalize. I mean, but this was also their opportunity to capitalize on it. But yeah, I think wrestling fans may have just been worn out. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt on that, and not take these ratings that came out too seriously. Like next week, or this, I guess 2 days from now, it will be really telling. But yeah. I want to talk the two, or the one. I'll talk one right now, and then my other one will be the other one. But Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, the Owen Hart Invitational Tournament. Like, Dustin Rhodes and Powerhouse Hobbs. We're gonna get Ricky Starks and Powerhouse. We're gonna get the rematch in the semifinals. But Powerhouse Hobbs beat Dustin Rhodes, and Dustin Rhodes thinks he is Roman Reigns. He thinks he is Cody Rhodes. He thinks he is, whoever, you name it. Kenny Omega, who kicks out at every freaking pinfall. See Dynamite main event, Wheeler against Wheeler Yuta. But he kicked out of Powerhouse Hobbs' finisher at 1, not at 2, not at like 2.5, 2 3/4, 2 7/8. It was 1. And you talk about like Powerhouse Hobbs and his fall from grace since losing the TNT Championship. To me, I think that's worse than losing the TNT Championship. Right? You know, Dustin Rhodes he's no slouch. He's always been great in the ring, but he shouldn't be kicking out of Powerhouse Hobbs' finisher at all, let alone at 1. And I am glad Powerhouse Hobbs got the win. When he kicked out at 1, I was like, okay, they're gonna eliminate Powerhouse Hobbs, and they're gonna have Dustin Rhodes get the feel good moment in the Owen Hart Invitational, and he's gonna go to the finals. He may even win this thing. And that obviously didn't happen. And then, no disrespect to Dustin. I think, again, he's fantastic. And I think he's gotten better in the ring since coming to AEW versus when he was in WWE as Goldust.
For sure.
But, yeah, him kicking out at, that was the one, my jaw dropped when he kicked out at 1. And I was just like, what are we doing? Like, why? And then Powerhouse Hobbs moves on to the semifinals against or of the Owen Hart Invitational, and we'll talk about who he'll be facing later on in the night.
Yeah, it was shocking to me as well. And I brought it up too, that I understand that Dustin Rhodes is like their AEW, WWE Hall of Famer guy that they have, like that legend or whatever. And you were like, Dustin Rhodes is not a legend, but he will be. He'll be in the Hall of Fame. Goldust had a great run. But either way.
Oh, he was great with Booker T. And
for Dustin Rhodes right now, I get that he's better. I get he's 100 years old and he's literally kicking out of a powerhouse. Like he took power.
At one.
And make you think that one. And the announcers brought it up. They were like, no, that wasn't one. That was a mess up. I'm like, it probably was a mess up. I think Dustin, because he's so old, can't hear anymore. That was an awful, everything about it was bad. Powerhouse Hobbs having to barrel. I mean, Powerhouse Hobbs, once again, Vince McMahon loved big guys. I feel like TK hates big guys. I think he's like the polar opposite. He's such like a probably Brett Shawn fan, which, I'm a Shawn fan, but he wants these younger guys, but he's like a Wardlow, a Powerhouse Hobbs. They're not going to be doing anything important here. They're too big for my liking. I want these little guys to do great. It was just weird booking. The match was weird. I'm not saying it was a bad match. It was a good match.
Yeah.
I'm not saying these two guys didn't bring it, but once again, it's the booking part of it. Like, why would you have Powerhouse Hobbs struggle? Again, I'm not saying you should have squashed them, but
no. And speaking of that, you had QT Marshall hit a low blow on Dustin Rhodes to help Powerhouse Hobbs get the win. Like, why?
To do his move again. Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Dustin Rhodes, he should have lost that match clean. He didn't. They should have made Powerhouse Hobbs look strong. I mean, I'm glad that. I mean, I'm not saying he needed a job, but him, Powerhouse Hobbs should not have struggled against Dustin Rhodes.
And I'm pretty sure they
needing interference.
Yeah, and I think they said that was the first time someone kicked out of his finisher, correct?
I think so. Yeah, I mean,
so it was Dustin. Dustin was
I feel like they say something every week about stuff.
Yeah, they do. But all right. Well, I'll bring up the other one then. Let me talk about a crew. I'm going to talk about the Bullet Club Gold. I'll give you the last one. The Bullet Club Gold. What do they like touch guns? I don't know what they do. But anyway, yeah. But now since they're guns, pew pew, they decided to have the gun club join them. Pew pew. So now the Bullet Club Gold. Okay. All right. I know, kind of laughable, but you know what? The gun club's supposed to be legit. 4 young cats going at it, or being a group. I love factions. AEW loves factions.
Oh, yeah.
Why not? I like the Bullet Club Gold shirt, actually. I like the Bullet Club logo. I have a ton of old Bullet Club stuff. I like the gold. I dig it. Whatever. It's AEW's Bullet Club. But you have this promo beforehand where they hype it up and the guns talk about FTR and they have 2 words for you and everyone's like, suck it. And they're like, guns up. They have this whole thing going on. So they have the match to fade right in with one of the members, the wacky one of the Bullet Club Gold. Juice Robinson goes Ricky Starks, and Juice loses. Okay. I'm okay with Ricky Starks getting the win on Juice Robinson. But once again, the match was good. It was good. But once again, what is with how are you going to follow that with a loss, but at least have the match then later on in the night? You literally had a promo where they got new members and you're trying to make this crew feel legitimate, to only then have them instantly lose a match 10 minutes later. It was straight wacky and bizarre. Once again, I'm not dogging on Collision for the purposes of anything other than the booking. It's not the talent. It's the fact that we don't push stories at all on this show. We have no stories. This show is literally just matches. And the fact that all 3 have been. And the fact that we're having Juice Robinson get a new crew member and he's supposed to feel why do I care about the Bullet Club Gold now? Because the guns aren't even over anyways. But they're trying to be over. They're trying to feel important. But then you have Juice Robinson just lose and they had the Bullet Club there. So Ricky Starks even got the comeuppance on him. It was just weird to me. And I mean, I knew Ricky was going to win, but then why have that segment? Why not do that segment earlier in the show, or maybe save it for Dynamite? I don't know. I just thought it was all kind of a weird. It was just weird booking. Weird booking to me.
Yeah, and I mean, this is all setting up for the rematch now between Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks in the semifinals of this thing. And cool. But, even after, I don't know, just CM Punk and FTR coming out and helping Ricky Starks fight off the Bullet Club. You made them look strong after the match, but you can't make them look strong in the match. You can't have them win the match. I don't know. They could, like you said, they should have saved we're going to put Bullet Club, we're going to add the guns to Bullet Club Gold on to a segment on Dynamite. It would have been a perfect thing for Rampage this Friday, because Rampage is firing on all cylinders right now, and it's the hot
really
show at the moment.
Watching it again. I'm not watching it now, and it's like
I know, but I'm reading about it. And I'm like, oh damn!
Uh-huh.
Like, I can't believe MJF was there and Adam Cole was there, and I thought it was supposed to be Elevation and Dark, but I guess not.
Yeah,
but, yeah. I mean, you could have put that on Rampage. You could have put it on Dynamite. You could have put it on YouTube or something. But yeah, I don't understand the booking, and there's no stories going on in it at all.
Yeah, whatsoever. All right.
And then for me, the match of the night, I guess, was the Samoa Joe Roderick Strong match. With special guest commentator CM Punk, and Punk didn't really say anything, didn't do anything, nothing. He hasn't really done anything, honestly, since his promo that he cut when they came back at Collision on the debut episode in Chicago. I mean, he's had matches and he's been in tag team matches, but he hasn't really, said anything. He had one promo where he was like shouting the whole time with FTR, but other than that, I mean, he hasn't done anything. And commentary, he was pretty safe. He didn't say anything too controversial or anything, but the match between Roderick Strong and Samoa Joe was really good, and I thought it was definitely match of the night. These two guys clearly know each other pretty well from their NXT days, and I'm not sure, they may have worked together in previous places together too, but I mean, the match itself was good. Samoa Joe got the win. I don't understand why a Ring of Honor guy who's supposed to be exclusive to Ring of Honor is involved in the Owen Hart Invitational, which is on AEW TV. But obviously it's to set up a one-on-one match between CM Punk and Samoa Joe, which is what we're going to be getting now, because Punk won his match and he's in the semifinals. He won his match at Forbidden Door, so Punk gets some time off between his match, and I don't know when this match will be for the semifinals between Punk and Samoa Joe or Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. We don't know when these matches will take place, but they're going to be happening, and I think it's all setting up. Obviously, Punk and Starks have been working together against the Bullet Club Gold. I think it's going to be Punk versus Starks, and this is when Punk really turns heel and embraces his heel character, and I think he's going to beat Ricky Starks and win the Owen Hart Invitational. I think it's his tournament to win, but I think we know we're getting Punk and Joe, and I have no doubt that's going to be a okay match. I don't think it's going to be a great match. I think it would have been if this was 2005, but because we're in 2023 and these guys are way older now, I think it'll be an okay match, and I think the fans will love it because they love nostalgia acts, and that's what this match will be. So
I mean, I liked everything about it, but once again, the booking. Why have ROH champion?
Yeah, it makes no sense
in a tournament. Stop calling it ROH. Is it NXT then? Is that what ROH is? Because if that's true, then okay, so be it. But even NXT guys aren't popping up that much. You're not having Carmelo Hayes in a tournament for the King of the Ring. Like, it's just, I still don't like the booking, but Samoa Joe versus CM Punk, it is what it is. Like I said, Collision booking has been numbing my brain. But with that said, Dynamite, on the other hand, we talked about it briefly, and you were saying that you thought Dynamite is not doing that great either. I actually a little bit opposite, and I don't know if it's just because Collision's so bad that when I watch Dynamite, I'm just getting like super excited because it's actually somewhat entertaining. But Dynamite's pushing stories. They have storylines going on. They're not just doing all matches. It's still, I'm just confused on how much better Dynamite looks than Collision. Like, Collision just looks, production-wise, doesn't look that great. And it should. It's on TNT. But I just feel like Dynamite looks better. It's presented better. It feels like the real, like we were saying, I was telling you, on a text, or that it's like, it should be SmackDown Raw. That's what it should be. But instead it feels like Raw and Sunday Night Heat. It doesn't feel like Saturday Night
Raw and Rampage.
You know what that's what it feels like. It does not feel like Raw and SmackDown. But with that said, I want to talk about this MJF Adam Cole thing, baby, because I'm here for it. Yes, please. I don't care how it ends. My water's in the shot. I don't care how it ends, where it's going, what we're doing. This is just sign me up. And the crowd loved it. first off, the workout scene at the gym, I thought, minus the stupid like fat guy joke or whatever, but that was just to make MJF look like an a-hole. But Adam Cole wasn't for it, but it was still funny at the fact that he was like, all right, big guy, if you can get the weights, and they have Adam Cole like fake doing them all. But it was pretty funny because even the fat guy in the background was like, holy shit. And then it's, MJF was like, what the I thought it was funny that they had Adam Cole come out and like overbench him and then goes into their match. I thought they had a good match. And I like that they were just beating up on these two guys so much that MJF was literally like able to like talk to him and be like, do the move. Mm-hmm. I thought it was good shit. It reminded me of White Men Can't Jump, and not the new one, kids, the old one where they were in the tournament and Wesley and Woody are playing like the first tag team where it's like the two Joker guys and they're like literally talking mess to each other and not even trying, but they're still beating them because they're just so much better. That's what I kind of reminded me of. But I want to talk about after the match, the birthday promo. That came out of nowhere, celebrating Adam Cole's birthday. And what even more came out of nowhere was the fact that Adam Cole genuinely said, thank you, Fred, and walked out. And it got me excited. And so two things are going to happen with this. And I want you to know right now that I'm okay with both because I will enjoy this as long as I can go because these are two of the best in AEW. And I never thought it'd be this funny. So one, MJF finally goes full babyface and they become a tag team or a crew. Or two, this is once again another stupid MJF thing, and he's going to turn because it was all a ruse so he can get the upper hand on him in their match in the future because he almost beat him. What do you think? Are you digging it too? Did you laugh your little tushy off? I mean, the king thing, it was just all just hilarious. The streamers.
Yeah, I'm loving this. I mean, and I think this is getting over big time. I'm not really, I wasn't originally, I was not a fan of this whole, let's put them together because it's inevitable that MJF and Adam Cole they're going to be feuding with each other soon, but I'm digging this. I mean, their chemistry is so good. I mean, it is. I don't know if you saw this, but there's some stuff on TikTok going around where Adam Cole is big on Twitch and MJF subscribed to his Twitch channel.
Yes, I saw.
Yeah, and he was like in the Twitch feed. He was like, "Hey, buddy, he has a 3-month subscription to Adam Cole's Twitch," and he was in the comments talking about, "Hey, I love this show. I didn't know this was a thing. You're really cool." And Adam Cole was like, "Remember, Max, we talked about boundaries." Like it was just like they're bringing it over into the real world, and I think this could be if they do this right. If they do this right, and this is a big if with AEW because they have a tendency to not do stuff right. They start off strong and then things just don't end well. But if they do this right, this could be one of their best stories of all time. Depending on how it goes, even if it is MJF turning, I think maybe there's a double turn where Adam Cole turns heel and MJF turns full on babyface because, Adam Cole's the one that turns on MJF, and MJF is like really upset because he like really liked Adam Cole. He was starting to like him and be friends, and yet again, he gets left behind, and I could see it being a double turn where MJF becomes the babyface and Adam Cole becomes the heel. But either way, if they do this right, it could be one of the best things that AEW has ever done.
This reminds me a lot of MJF Chris Jericho. So if you remember that with their little singing restaurant thing and their love for each other, and then so I'm getting the same vibe.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I want to talk the women's Owen Hart Invitational match.
Okay,
Britt Baker and Ruby Soho. It's the opening round, and Ruby Soho beats Britt Baker. And, we talked a lot about booking. I have no problem with Ruby Soho beating Britt Baker. I thought it was probably the right call. My problem with it was, why was this the opening match of the Owen Hart Invitational Tournament for the women? Why? What are they doing? This should have been the finals because that's what it was last year. Britt Baker beat Ruby Soho and really killed all of Ruby Soho's momentum after that because Ruby Soho struggled as soon as she lost. I thought she was going to win the whole thing, and she lost it. And then she really never found her footing for the rest of 2022. And she was hurt for some of that, but I think her losing this Owen Hart Invitational match last year to Britt Baker killed her momentum last year. And the fact that they're opening the next year against each other,
Uh-huh.
like he could have done a rematch in the finals. You could have set it up. You could have built to it the rematch, and
Yeah.
everyone loves a rematch in the championship, right? Like
Mhm.
the Super Bowl rematch. Everyone wanted to see Giants Patriots too, because
Yep.
could the Patriots get revenge on the Giants? Everyone wanted to see the Rams when they got revenge on. Oh wait, they lost to the Patriots, but but they did come back a couple years later and
Yes.
win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Everyone loves a good rematch. Tom Brady. Everyone wants to beat Tom Brady. Everyone wants to get the rematch. The Warriors and Cavs had so many NBA Finals
Mhm.
rematches against each other, and they were all highly rated, and they were all fantastic. And um, yeah, why not make that the final? Like build to
Mhm.
make it the finals, and then Ruby Soho wins, great, but her Britt Baker going out in the first round like that, I don't know if she came back from injury too soon. I don't know if she's hurt or what,
Yeah.
but I don't understand the booking of this at all.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, at least she came out with her belt from last year. But
Yeah,
yeah, I agree
first
with
time
you.
we've seen that thing.
Yeah, it was huge. But yeah, I agree with you. I thought it was weird. I mean, it's good for Ruby, I guess, and maybe she's still hurt, and so Britt, they just needed her out right away. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I agree with you. It should have been later on. You can't have two big names and probably two of the biggest stars in this whole tournament, and you just have her job right off the bat. Weird booking, and I mean, I guess it does push Ruby, so you have that, and I don't know. It's just funny because there was a time where I thought, like, man, Britt Baker was literally Charlotte Flair of AEW, and she doesn't really feel like that anymore. I feel like that time has passed. She just kind
Yeah,
of seems like she's there now, which is sad because she should be the main attraction of
yeah.
AEW because
Something's not.
she is that girl.
Ever since she became a babyface, I feel like she's
Mm-hmm.
lost a lot of steam, and I think
Yeah.
like we've said before, it's hard to be a babyface in wrestling. It's easy to be a heel, and
Yeah.
when she was the queen of AEW and beating everybody and was the top girl, it was easy for her. But I
Mm-hmm.
think being a babyface is really hard, and that's
Yeah.
why I think Adam Cole's going to turn, and I think Britt Baker's going to turn with him.
Yeah. Speaking of things that aren't hard, being a heel. Where do you think I was going with that?
Yeah.
Being a heel, and what I want to talk about is Mr. Don Callis himself, and he came out and interrupted Mr. Chris Jericho, the Ocho's promo, and the Ocho was delivering his promo, and out comes Don Callis to so many boos that Chris Jericho himself had to respect and was like giggling to himself because he was experiencing that Dominic Mysterio type heat, and Don Callis was getting booed every time he spoke. And basically, end the story is he finally got it out. It was that he wants Jericho to join the Don Callis crew. I forgot what his name is, something like that. But the DAS. But it was definitely I thought, to me, a good moment for Don Callis. You got that big heat. Might as well put him up with one of your bigger popular people. He has him to be in the crew, and Chris Jericho said, "Bro, I don't join factions. I create factions." And you're like, "Not a boy, Jericho, but I'll think about it." And then he leaves. And they had a quick backstage thing too, where Sammy is there with Garcia, and they're going to tag together because I guess people in the same crew can also tag randomly. But is this the end of JAS? I mean, we got Jungle Boy talking about his girl who's in JAS. Is she going to leave? Sammy Guevara hasn't even represented the JAS in forever. Are they even coming out to the music anymore? Nipple Magic isn't really around them anymore. I mean, is Jericho going to go to Don Callis? And if so, does it work? I mean, Don Callis had Kenny Omega. Why not have Chris Jericho now to have him be his manager and bring that heat? That'd be some serious heat. Don Callis and Chris Jericho coming out together. So,
oh yeah, and I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I hate this. But I'm intrigued, and I think that's a good thing to be intrigued with AEW because a lot
yeah.
of times you can it's kind of hard to predict what they're going to do. But I'm intrigued by this. I want to see, is this the beginning of a babyface run for Chris Jericho and he leaves all factions behind, or he swerves and joins the Elite, or he doesn't do anything at all, or he remains a heel and it's part of an alliance with the maybe the JS remains a thing, and it's he's just joining as an alliance. But the thing is again, booking, right? Like he was just feuding with the Blackpool Combat Club not too long ago. Right before, I mean, they were all in the trios matches together.
Yeah.
It was, and he was just feuding against the Elite as well. So like none of this makes any sense for the timing of it. But
yeah,
but I am intrigued. I'm curious to see what happens. But does this mean that we're not getting Sting anymore with Darby Allin? Is that kind of, they just kind of moved on from that? I mean, they had that tag team match last week, and they were
they brought
teasing.
it up.
Yeah, they were teasing that they're going to go against. They're going to do Jericho Sting at All In or All Out or one of those events. But yeah, I don't know. But now if he's going to be joining this thing, like I don't know. This feels
AEW
random.
Having people do too many things at once. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Tell me about it. Look at like Darby Allin tagged with Sting last week, and he's teaming with Orange Cassidy this week in the Blind Eliminator tournament, and
calling out Keith Lee for some. At least Keith Lee finally got rid of his stupid gray hair, I think.
Yeah. But that's kind of my next topic is
last one. Let's go.
The tournaments that AEW is doing right now. I ranted about Britt Baker losing in the first round, which like that's fine. Okay, whatever. I'm over it. But 3 tournaments at one time in AEW, like 3 tournaments. We have the men's Owen Hart Invitational semifinals, Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs versus CM Punk and Samoa Joe. The winners will meet in the finals there. We have this blind tag team eliminator tournament, which began on Dynamite with MJF and Adam Cole, Matt Hardy and Jeff Jarrett, not Jeff Hardy, but Jeff Jarrett teaming together. Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland, who have been feuding with each other, are teaming together against Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy, who have not been feuding. Like, so is this like, what is this? Like, because Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy have been friends. They've been teaming together before. They were, when Sting was on his hiatus, they were teaming up a lot. But, you have MJF and Adam Cole, who maybe don't like each other. They're trying to like build that chemistry and become friends. Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland hate each other, but they're teaming together. You have like just these Jeff Jarrett and Matt Hardy. I mean, they were just fighting at each other's house. I don't understand this tournament. And it's all for a shot at FTR. So FTR can beat them. And because these teams, they're not a true tag team. Is this a shot at the WWE and the women's tag team division, because there's just a bunch of randomly thrown together tag teams there? I don't know what they're doing. I don't like it. And then don't get me wrong, like the women's Owen Hart Invitational too. I mean, there's 3 tournaments going on. AEW is doing too many things at one time. It's hard to keep up. Like I'm like, okay, this guy, like, okay, so we're having this Owen Hart match that doesn't mean anything for the men. They're not going to get a shot at MJF. They're not going to get a shot at Orange Cassidy and his international title because he's too busy in the tag team. And you have champions in it. Like the world champion is in your eliminator tag team match with Adam Cole. Your international champion is in the eliminator tag team match with Darby Allin. So your top 2 titles are not going to be defended for a little bit because they're involved in these tournaments. And it's just too much at one time. And I'm not feeling it at all.
I agree. And not only that, but when you have, so don't forget Daddy Magic and the Butcher. I didn't forget about Mr. Nipples himself. They called him so. That's why I was seeing Magic Meat all over the internet. I was wondering why TikTok was talking about Magic Meat. But why? They were the jobber team to Adam Cole and MJ. Anyway, why even come up with the name? But yes, I agree. And like we just did Collision's thing, and it was all tournament matches. And Dynamite is basically all tournament matches. Everything is tournament matches. You know what tournament matches don't do? Push storylines. We're not pushing any story. And like you said, you have 2 of your biggest champions. Actually, you have your ROH champ, your AEW champ. You have your international London whatever champ, Orange Cassidy. You got who else? You have like so many. That's at least 3 already in these tournaments, taking up space instead of having your single champions, kind of do their darn thing. So it is weird to me as well. And then, you threw in a random match with your women's champ, Statlander. She had an awful, like, quick match against something that didn't even really feel important. It was like a D-level match. I mean, we're really getting lost in the shuffle. Like I said, I like Dynamite. I thought it was good, but I agree with you fully. I'm good with a couple tournaments. I want the King of the Ring to be back. I love the King of the Ring. I love the King of the Ring when it was a pay-per-view and all the matches happened on the pay-per-view. You had like the qualifiers on Raw, and then the King of the Ring, you wrestled, you had to win 4 times to win it all. I'm all for that. I love it. But that's like a one-night thing, and you're pushing a story as to who the champ's going to be. King of the Ring, you usually got a title match at Royal Rumble.
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam, excuse me. Yeah. SummerSlam. Yeah. And the King of the Ring, when you go back and look at it, we're all studs. What the heck happened to the Owen Hart people? So, I mean, it's like, you don't get that rub.
At least give us something to, like, make something out of this Owen Hart tournament. You know, the winner of this will get a shot at Orange Cassidy. The winner of this will wrestle MJF at All In. The winner of this will get an automatic main event slot at All. Something. Give us something.
Christian / Luchasaurus. You know what I mean?
Yes, like, for the TNT title. You know, and then you have that's in August. This tournament will be over by end of. You have a month to build that up and make people excited about it. But yeah, Patrick says it best. They get a cool belt, and you know it's
question mark too. I mean, they did. The belt was pretty cool to be honest. When Britt put it on, it like covered her entire body. I didn't.
But that's the first time we've seen that belt since she won it last year. Yeah, so it's not like she kept it, or you know, AEW loves titles, and you know, it's not like she's been defending it regularly or anything. Like,
I agree.
You know, I don't know, but 3 tournaments at one time, it's hard to keep up. It's hard to keep up with it, and you know, that's maybe that's me being old man yells at cloud, but I don't know. It's just too much at one time, and you know, your champions aren't defending their titles because they're too busy in these tournaments, and I don't think we need to have them.
And right now we have a tag team tournament going on. I legitimately forgot who the tag team champions were.
Yeah, because where are they?
No, they're on Collision, maybe hanging out with CM Punk to interfere on that. Like, once again, not defending titles. I literally forgot. I was like, who the hell are the champions? By the way, who are your trio champions? Are they defending? Like, literally, nobody is defending their championships. No, they're all in solo matches. It's so stupid.
It makes
And I guarantee you, all those AEW fans that loving it and hyping it up all hate the WWE because they never defended their titles. They always separated.
Roman never defended.
This and that, and AEW could do whatever that. Anyway, all I gotta say is that's 3 weeks now. We did it last time where we had like 3 weeks. Tony, come on, this Saturday, Wednesday,
bring it.
Get 2 dudes back up. I want to talk some positivity. Let's get it. I love me some AEW. Let's get it going.
Yeah,
it's gotta be more than me buying that better than you, baby shirt, because I'm gonna totally buy that shirt. But
yeah, and that's probably the best thing they have going on right now on AEW is MJF and Adam Cole, and I think it's setting up for them to wrestle FTR. But you know, at least have FTR come out and you know stare down the winners or watch the matches from the luxury box, or do something.
They don't even know what's happening, do they? I don't know.
Yeah, they're not even there.
No, they're too busy fighting the Bullet Club. Gold.
Yeah.
Bang bang. Oh, that's not how you do it. Bang bang. No, doesn't that wipe out? I don't know. All right. Anyway, let's go to our segment. I'm trying to do.
You're gonna get us kicked off YouTube.
Yeah, I'm trying to do guns to bang each other. How come when they bang them as like teammates, they like can do it, but I like can't do it now? I don't know. Anyway, all right, let's get into our segment. What is our segment, my man, for AEW this week?
We are gonna bring back a classic today, one of our favorites, and now that the pressure's on me, I can't find it. But we're going to, it's my first day, everybody. But we're going to be doing That's Cool, That's Not Cool.
That's cool. That's not cool.
That's not cool. And this is where we're going to bring up something that could possibly happen in AEW, hopefully better booking. And then we're going to say if it's cool or not cool. As always, the honorary dude himself. He is up and ready to go. So let's hear it. You go first, my man.
All right. Cool or not cool?
Mm-hmm.
Jungle Boy reuniting with Christian Cage. And they go after the tag team. I'm surprised they're not even in this tournament. But Jungle Boy and Christian Cage reuniting and going after FTR eventually. Because now we have heel Jungle Boy. So...
And Chicken Shit Heel Jungle Boy too. You know,
like with Chicken Shit Heel Christian.
Yep, with Chicken Shit Heel with Luchasaurus. Oh, I'm gonna say cool.
That's cool.
Only because I want Jungle Boy to like survive. I feel like that poor guy has just drowned it as a babyface, and I know people like him because he has cool music. And I know it's so stupid to have somebody break up and then have them come right back again like 3 months later, although that's AEW style. But I think Christian could really, like he did as a babyface, I think he can help him even more as a heel. And just being with him and him with his promos and having Lucha be their kind of like backup for them winning things and maybe the tag team titles and so on as these two chicken shit heels. Yeah, I'm all for it. Sign me up, bro.
Yeah, I would love it. I think, I mean, obviously, I'm excited about Jungle Boy and Hook. I think they need to have their little program first, and gives Hook something to do. It gives Jungle Boy a legit feud to have as a heel, his first feud as a heel. So, but I do think eventually it needs to happen. Christian Cage and Jungle Boy need to get back together, just like Wardlow and MJF. I think they need to get back together because it's not working. And when it's not working, go back to what did work.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Lesnar, when he came back to WWE for the first few weeks of his return in 2012, he was cutting promos on his own, and he was not good at it. So what they do, they brought back Paul Heyman because that's what worked. So, if Christian Cage and Jungle Boy were money, and I would love to see them as a heel group.
I agree. All right, you ready for mine?
Yes, sir.
Not only do MJF and Adam Cole win the tournament, they also beat FTR for the tag team champions, and they become a likable each other tag team, and they are both baby faces. Cool or not cool?
That's cool.
And MJF stays champ.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's what I want to see. I don't want this to turn into the typical MJF turns on Adam Cole. I don't know if I said it earlier that I could see Adam Cole turning heel and turning on
that. I'll be for that too. Yeah.
And turning on MJF. But in this scenario, I would love it if they're setting it up. AEW is kind of predictable with this kind of stuff. Like we know it's going to be Punk versus Ricky Starks in the final of the Owen Hart tournament. We know that MJF and Adam Cole are going to get to the finals of this eliminator match, and they're probably going to win the thing. And I think they have a chance of beating FTR. And I would love to see Adam Cole have some gold in AEW besides the Owen Hart belt that he doesn't carry around from last year. I want to see him get some gold. I think MJF and him have great chemistry together, and I think they'd be doing a disservice to break them up.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's cool too, and I'm just such a sucker, like old school WWE. I'm a sucker for when two champs or two bigger names and one has a belt and then they become tag team champs too. I don't know why. Just when someone has gold, I always want it more. I'm just that guy. Like Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels did it, and Stone Cold and Triple H did it, and Stone Cold and everyone did it. And it's just, I like it. Triple H and Diesel did it. I like when like champions or two champions do it. And I think MJF can do both. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be cool as baby faces.
Look at the namesakes of our podcast, the two dudes with attitudes, HBK and Diesel. They were
both champ, IC champ, and then won the tag team titles. I'm all for it. I think it's fun. I think it's cool. They don't have to have it forever. And then maybe Adam Cole, once they win it, can turn on him, and then they can go that way. Because no matter what, I think this is leading to MJF becoming a babyface. I don't think he's going to do the stupid swerve again. I think he's way over the top right now. I think it's for a reason. I think this is him finally turning. I mean, he was getting chanted again. So they're loving him. So that's what I think. That's what I think is going to happen, and I'd be cool with it. So all right, you want to do one more? You got one more?
Yeah, I got one more. All right, cool or not cool?
All right,
here we go. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Orange Cassidy.
Cool.
Loses.
Oh wait, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Hang on.
All right.
Okay. Orange Cassidy loses the international championship because he goes on to wrestle MJF for the AEW World Championship.
Man, I'm so
he's
happy.
The next man up.
I'm so happy my shot is waist up. I'm gonna go cool, my man. I'm gonna go cool. Orange Cassidy is so underrated, it's unbelievable. And the fact that he is now not just a joke and still getting mistreated, it is like disheartening to me. The dude can go. He proves he can go. He takes bumps like a mofo. You see that bump he took? The shots when his hand was in his pants, and he took the shot and then like fell like completely on his face, like deadpan. Like, I mean, the dude is just so money, so over. He knows what he's doing. I would love for it. They just announced that he's had 25 title defenses consecutive. That's a record, I think, in all of sports, not just AEW. I mean, when champs have him for like Roman, I don't think he's had 25 title defenses. I mean, it just shows like he's that dude. Orange Cassidy is that dude. And I think Orange Cassidy and MJF would be money unless they turn MJF babyface. But yeah, I'm going to say cool.
Yeah, I'm torn on this one because I think it would be cool. And MJF has been taking shots at Orange Cassidy and the media scrum saying he's a mark and all these things. But unless they change the character and the booking of Orange Cassidy, I don't know if I can take it seriously.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
So, because I think, well, here's why. Like every match with Orange Cassidy is the exact same. He gets his ass kicked the entire match, and then he finds enough. He's got more tape on him than a freaking mummy. He's got his back tape. He's got his arm tape. He can't, he can't do the orange punch. He can't, because he doesn't have any strength, and he's kind of the Cody Rhodes of AEW, where he's going through all the adversity. He's got a broken arm. He needs medical attention. I'm surprised he's medically cleared to even compete. So, like, I don't want to see that with Orange Cassidy in MJF. And, but if they did away with that, I would love it. I would love to see it. But if it's going to be the same Orange Cassidy we have now, where he's barely hanging on in matches and finding ways to win at the very last second after getting his ass destroyed the entire match, I don't want to see that against MJF.
All right. Fair enough. All right. You ready for my last one?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right. It's an easy one. Easy peasy. Ruby Soho wins the Owen Hart female tournament. Cool or not cool?
That's cool.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's. I love what they're doing with the Outcasts. I like that. Toni Storm is the women's champion. Saraya, I don't really know what she's up to. She's been coming out recently, but she was kind of disappeared there for a little bit.
Yeah,
and
back.
Ruby Soho got to the finals of this thing last year and lost, so she came so close. So I could see her getting there all the way this year and keeping the momentum going for the Outcasts and painting L's on everybody that she goes through to get there. I'm all for it. I love Ruby Soho. I think she's great, and I think she's found her niche in AEW. I think she's found what's working for her, and I want to see her have success.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's cool as well.
That's cool.
There it is. I agree. I think, even though I didn't agree with it happening in the first match, I thought she should have beat in Britt Baker in the finals. That's the only problem I had with it. But I think Ruby needs it. I think she was disrespected before, and I think she's been disrespected until she's been in the Outcast. But to me, minus Judgment Day and the Bloodline, maybe the BCC, I mean, the Outcast is top 4 best factions right now. They're money. All 3 of them are bumping on all cylinders, and I think her winning that, and maybe even Saraya winning the TBS title, let's get these get these girls with belts over them, and maybe Ruby will walk around with that Owen Hart Invitational Championship and make it feel important. So
and then you could have, there's so many like fantasy booking scenarios with that, but you could have Jade Cargill come back, go after her TBS championship against Saraya. So, then that's more people for more AEW originals that the Outcast want to destroy. Man, you had a hard on for Orange Cassidy. I'm over here like clenching my legs together because of the Outcast right now. So
I know, man. I love them. They're money. Just when they come out, they just feel good. They look good. They just Toni Storm. I mean, I'm just loving it. Everything about them. So yes, sir. All right, TK.
Yeah, watch our podcast and then make all this stuff happen, and we'll love you next week.
Yes, sir. And all you fans out there, we do love AEW. They just got to give us stuff to love. So let's get going. And as always, man, we're going to see you on Tuesday for our next WWE episode. Same bat time, same bat channel for our summer schedule. And I'm Mr. MWO. Subscribe, like, Keep it up. Keep going. You guys love us. We love you guys. And as always, my main man is with you. With me, Mr.
Shooting Star Press. Like he said, follow us. Our socials are right here on the screen. TikTok, Instagram. We are on the YouTube. We're on the Twitch. Trying to get us on Kick, but I keep getting kicked off. Ha ha ha. We're on Apple and Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio. Anywhere you get your podcasts, we're there. So go subscribe and rate us and review us over there. But yeah, we're growing. We're almost at 300 subscribers on the YouTube, and we're getting our numbers out there and getting the downloads up. I think last episode had like 50 downloads, which is the most we've had in a while. So yeah, keep it up. Yes, keep showing the love, keep showing the support, because the more we get it, the more attention we get, the more love we get, and the more that we're able to grow.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Two Dudes Wolfpack.
We're out.
Two dudes. Attitudes.
It's the two dudes with the attitudes. Let's go. On the Friday, you know what it is. Man, they came to handle biz. Two dudes with attitudes, and they came to